So if you spend your life avoiding risk, you're spending your life avoiding opportunity. I dropped out of high school in the 11th grade. When people are told to work around here, it's because I am getting money or I'm expecting money.
What's up, guys? Welcome to another incredible behind the scenes video. Today, we are going back 3 months to where we had the opportunity to spend a full day shadowing Brad Lea at his office. We're going to walk you through 5 lessons that I learned from Brad Lea at his office. Now, I've been testing and applying some of these lessons to my business to see what the impact were. And over the last 3 months, I believe they've allowed me to earn approximately another $1.5 million. Make sure to stay tuned till the end, because I'm going to explain why the very next day after we filmed this, I actually fired one of my very top performers, a guy whose comp package was over $1 million per year. I've explained why I did that and what the impact was to my business. So make sure to stay tuned until the end. Enjoy the video. All right, guys, time to dive into the 5 lessons. Now, lesson number 1 is always prioritize relationships over money. In this first segment, you're going to hear a really interesting story about Brad Lea's relationship with Grant Cardone. So let's dive in and see what insights we can gain.
I wrote a book called The Hard Way. It's lessons I learned the hard way so you don't have to. And ultimately, everyone's going to learn these lessons. The question is how much is it going to cost them? Could cost the price of a book, or it could cost a lot more. And that's ultimately what I paid, a lot more. And one of the lessons, as I was writing the book, I was trying to point out that this guy, Grant Cardone, he made a mistake. He chose money over relationships because he basically, I say reneged on a deal. He says renegotiated. But at the end of the day, he went back on a deal we agreed on. You know, I'm thinking, we're buddies, right? Why would you want your buddy to have less money? Why would you want your buddy to get screwed, basically? And I was writing the chapter to basically say, you should choose relationships over the money. Like Grant should have chosen our relationship over the money that he chose instead. And as I was writing out the chapter, I realized I did the same thing he did. And now we're not close, we're not buddies. You know, now he's just a client. And, you know, Grant needs all the buddies he can get because he doesn't have very many. But I should have just said, no problem, bro. You're my man, dude. We're cool. I like you. We're buddies. If that's what you need, I got your back. And had I done that, had I chose the relationship over the money, I would have probably been much further ahead than I am today. Yeah. Because I would have been on all the 10X stages instead of just the first couple. I would have made a lot more money. I would have probably had a lot more followers. I would have had a lot more opportunity. And I'd have another buddy. Yeah. We probably would have, because we'd go on vacation and hang out and drink wine, and you know, we would have had all that. Or I would have received, I think, more had I not been so short-sighted. But man, I chose money too. I'm like, screw you, bro. You ain't screwing me. I should have just said, no problem. Focus on the relationship, not the money, because if the relationship dries up, so will the money.
Have you told him that?
What do you mean?
Well, you just told me.
No.
Why not?
Fuck Grant.
All right, so lesson number 2 is have extreme focus. If you look at all the most successful entrepreneurs in the world, they all have a very specific focus on one thing. Brad Lea, in this next segment, you're going to hear him talk about his mission, which is to get the information from the people that have it to the people that need it. And he's been working on that for the last 20 plus years, just focusing on that one thing.
You don't send Christmas cards. He's transactional, I'm relational. He'd always tell me I'm stupid for trying to help the people with no money. He said, Brad, you need to focus on people that are winning. You need to spend time with winners and stop hanging around losers and stop helping losers. You know, you help the winners win more. And I'm like, that makes sense. But to me, the winners don't need help. Yeah. They're winning. You know, I'd rather help the people that aren't winning, because a little information
can change their life.
Can change their life. I'm not going to be on your podcast because Tony Robbins was on your podcast. I would be on your podcast regardless if Tony was on your podcast. But when I hear that I'm the reason their podcast took off, that's the kind of impact and help I'm talking about. Yeah. Like all it took me was a 30-minute or hour window. I don't mind sharing that knowledge. In fact, that's my mission. you know, to get the knowledge from the people who have it to the people who need it. I'm getting money or I'm expecting money. You following me though?
All right, so after this next segment, you're either gonna love Brad Lea or hate Brad Lea. It depends on your communication style. Lesson number 3 is that you need to build your business like a money-making machine. One of the things I really noticed when I was spending the day with Brad is his entire business is set up like a money-making machine. He doesn't need to work in the business. He just works on developing the systems, the processes, and the people to execute on making money for him. In this next segment, you're gonna see what happens when people go outside of his red light, green light system and something breaks. And you're gonna see him identify what the problem was, who caused the problem, and ensure that doesn't happen again. So let's dive in.
Hey, Brad.
You're requesting access to a folder?
Yes, sir.
I refunded him.
Well, he is under the impression that he still has a platform.
We refunded him.
Austin just put him back in factory like 2 weeks ago.
Austin, see Brad. Jennifer Hedges, see Brad Lea. Well, let's get to the old bottom of it.
Let's do it.
Nobody should be able to call you and get the wheels to turn at this company without the process being followed. Hi, Jen. I'm on the phone with Eden real quick. She's asking to access a folder, which kind of reminded me, wait a minute, that guy I gave a refund to, so why are we accessing this folder? And then I asked her if she got a green light from accounting. She said, no, she got a phone call from you. Phone calls from you isn't really the process.
She said green light because this is what happened is Austin said, can we get this client access to the Google file? And I could not.
Why?
Because he wanted access. So
He's
I
not a
guess
client. We refunded him, I'm pretty damn sure.
It was a 995 and then it got upsold to 60. I think we collected 15,000.
We refunded the guy. So he's not a client, and now he wants access to something. And Austin told you, and you told Eden, and now we're all working. Are we working? Is this working? Are you working on this, Eden?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so my money is going to a non-client. So I'm trying to figure out where in the process it's broken. Because again, in some cases, this is exactly what we should have done. Don't need to make a big thing out of it, but this is why we have a green light here. Why? Well, because nobody should do a thing unless accounting knows about it. That's why you're in here. How did it happen? Let's figure this out. Eden, I'd want you to say, well, I'm a project manager. I'm just here to get the deal built and created. I don't know what your deal is. I'd have to get accounting involved or the salesperson. Have you talked to Austin? Keep me in the loop and let me get to the bottom of this, but don't do anything. Don't give them access to anything.
Okay, deal.
Okay, bye. Hello.
Hi, Brad.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you? What's up?
I need to know about.
Yeah, so he requested to reactivate his system.
Who did he call?
Oh, Austin.
Okay, so then Austin called you?
Yes.
For how much?
So originally he had a design package for $9,995.
Which is, by the way, is all he ever paid, correct?
Well, he upgraded.
Hold on, answer my questions.
Okay.
That's all he's ever paid, correct or incorrect?
What do you mean that's all he ever paid?
Did he ever pay $9,995?
Yes.
That's all he ever paid, correct?
Then he upgraded to.
Upgraded and paid are two different things.
He paid for an upgrade to 60K done for you.
Okay, so he paid another 50,000?
Yes.
Okay, good. Keep going.
Then, back in August 2021, he received a partial refund of $44,375.66.
Yeah, which is basically because we did the work we did and we gave him a refund.
Yes.
So that right there eliminated the 60 grand. We refunded the guy. Now he has no package, he has no credit, he has no nothing. We deactivated his system, refunded him, and we parted ways, correct? So how is Eden on the phone with him and how is project management involved?
I don't know, because I didn't call them.
You didn't greenlight anything to project management.
Not at all.
Okay, good. Jennifer, how did it get from Kendra, who did not tell project management to do anything, but project management's on it?
I thought that they were a client because they were being charged.
Charged what? You just heard the background. They're not charged anything.
I had partial information and then they requested access to their Google file.
Okay, do you want to say, for example, you made an executive call or like, what's the reason?
I wanted to find out, well,
No.
what is the reason?
What's
Yes, I
the
gave
reason?
executive position.
Listen to me. What's the reason my project management team is doing phone calls and meetings and working with a customer that doesn't have a package. How does that happen? Thanks, Kendra, by the way. Just make sure they keep paying their bill.
Will do.
We don't do anything unless there's a green light issue. Why? Because I've already been fucked out of $1 million+ in production because everyone was working because so-and-so said, and so-and-so said, and so-and-so said. Okay, I don't operate with so-and-so said. I operate with accounting saying. Why? Because accounting's going, where's the money? They better be goddamn sure that when people are told to work around here, it's because I am getting money or I'm expecting money. Are you following me though?
I am.
Just say yes or no.
Yes.
That's why I'm doing this. Like, you're trying to help, I get it. But I want to make sure we tighten it up.
Will not happen again.
Good. Tell Austin, just because he's my son, doesn't mean he doesn't get to follow process. Austin, see Brad.
How is it working with your son?
He needs to be 10 times better for me to go, oh, I love it. Okay, he's a little bit entitled, if you ask me. A little bit lazy. I made life too easy for him. Austin.
Yo,
What's up with him?
just spun the system back up?
No, he didn't. We reactivated his system.
Yeah.
That's not spinning one back up.
Yeah, he reactivated his,
Okay, well then, I don't know if you know this, but the pricing changed, so he's gonna start getting cracked $300 a month, because you can't just reactivate your system after you canceled it.
yeah.
You called her, got it reactivated, accounting, da-da-da-da-da. Now Eden's on the phone with him. He's asking Eden how much things are. Eden's talking about sales stuff. I don't know why she's talking about sales stuff. I don't even know why she's on the fucking phone with this guy. We don't owe him a project manager. He hasn't bought a consulting package. That's all we sell are consulting packages. So how is Eden on the phone with him? And it kept going and kept going and kept going, and it boiled down to something slipped through the cracks.
And that's why I didn't get him in touch with the project manager when,
Then how did a project manager get in touch with him?
he sent me, because out of his 50 grand that he paid, he only refunded a part.
I don't care. It's refund. It was called settled.
Yeah.
Settled means zero balance, zero owed.
Yeah. He had stuff that we had shared with him as a part of the package that he got.
He didn't pay for it. We refunded him.
Not all of it. He paid.
It doesn't matter what. We don't offer services, partial services, Austin. He didn't pay for our Google Docs. No, technically he fucking didn't.
He refunded
Caroline, come in.
For the production side.
Don't get fooled because of some amount we got 5 years ago. Either sell them a consulting package or gracefully put it back to sleep. And by the way, this is an opportunity for you to turn into a fucking salesman, Austin. You call, you say, number one, congratulations, bro. I hear you're coming back. Cool, man. What are you teaching this time? What are you doing? Da 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 da. Oh, great. How do I, are you guys interested in our help? You need any help? Designing it, building it, creating it, interactivity, consulting, building a brand, anything? You need any help? Trust me, he needs help.
So lesson number 4 is question absolutely everything. This is something that I see a lot of top entrepreneurs do, and Brad does it every day. Later in the day, we ended up going to dinner with Brad and just listen to how he's trying to teach us this lesson and how he uses an extreme example to illustrate his point. Let's dive in.
Video.
You know the moon's made of cheese? Have you heard that? No. You don't know if the moon's made of cheese or not. They also say there's aliens. Are there aliens? Are there aliens?
Think so.
Well, dude, what do you mean you think so? The fucking government has confirmed it lately.
Yeah, that's true.
And when you listen to the rabbit holes, it does make sense if that's true. Supposedly, when you try to go to space, you will hit a fucking ceiling. Listen, there's a video where these two guys are talking to a globe guy, and they're making the flat earthers feel really stupid. And so the flat earthers said, hey, tell us what this is. And it had one of those satellite arms, and they said, well, obviously that is a view from the satellite. And it did look just like it. Like, goddamn, that's clearly a view from the satellite. And then they zoomed back and showed you that that's the sky, and it was looking up, and it's not Earth at all. And they said, now imagine the budget NASA has. So if they want to fool you, they can fool you. Now, if you really believe we went to the moon, I'm open-minded, so I'm like, okay, well, let me again, dude, how do you know that that's an actual footage? When I first heard people talking about flat Earth, I'd be like, what kind of would believe that the Earth is flat? Which I do not believe the Earth is flat, just for the record. That's one of the reasons why I think, why would they want us to think it's not flat? Who cares?
Yeah.
Like, why would you say, oh, they need to think it's a globe? Why? I don't get why the big effort, the flat earthers think that NASA is a full of lie, and, you know, there's rabbit holes deep on that shit. Like, I don't give a it's a flat earth. I don't give a it's a globe. I don't give a it could all be stupid as fuck, which I feel like it is. But when you're thumbing through on Instagram and a guy's asking a few questions that are thought-provoking,
Yeah.
you know, I like to listen. And then when I do listen, all I think in my head is, because I'm open-minded, I think, well, that is an interesting question. And why is that?
Yeah.
And then
Intellectual curiosity.
And then I also say, if it's real, like I was scrolling through and I saw a video that said, the Bible says this. And I'm like, dude, I like that. That's a good saying. Let me read it myself. And I went there and it did not say what the dude said it was saying. It wasn't even close. So there's my point. Isaiah 52:10 says that we can all have multiple lives. Confirmation bias says, oh yeah, see? Well, when you go read what it says, that's not what Isaiah 52:10 says, you moron. Then you feel stupid. So that's probably what I'll find out with the flat earthers when they say, why is this? You know, someone with a brain in their head and knows would say, well, that's because of this and that's because of that. If someone said, Brad, you got to pick, are we living on a flat earth or not? My answer would be no.
All right, so lesson number 5 is the importance of direct communication. I saw this over and over and over again with Brad. He's like, hey, sometimes people come into my office and they're just like chit-chatting. I'm like, hey, get to the point. If you're here, you obviously want something. What do you want? Just tell me what you want. So Brad is the king of direct communication. We saw that over and over again as we spent the day with him. And I think that is what makes him so polarizing on social media, why people either love him or hate him. Some people do not like direct communication. I'm Canadian. In Canada, we're known as being super friendly, but also a lot of Canadians are super indirect. Now, I'll tell you how applying this to my business really, really helped me really crank up the performance of my team over the last 3 months. Earlier last year, I recruited someone and the guy was an absolute rock star. He came from startups that had grown to over $1 billion a year. And to recruit someone like that to my company, which is very, very small, early stage startup, I needed to give him a comp package of over $1 million a year. Now, he was doing really, really good work. And this guy is actually a very good, skilled, intelligent guy. But the problem was his communication was not direct. If he had a problem with someone, he'd always be going to someone else on the team. So as a result, the whole team dynamic eroded. Prior to this guy joining the team, everyone was always working together very closely, very collaboratively. The best idea would always win. People would always share their thoughts. And a few days before we filmed this, I jumped on a call and everyone was just basically trying to say stuff to make themselves sound smart. I was just sitting there watching this go down. I'm like, oh my God, my entire team is broken. My entire team is broken because I brought someone in that was not a good cultural fit for the way that we operate and the way that we work and innovate together collaboratively. So I knew that despite the good work that this guy was doing, I had to let him go because of the difference in communication style. Prior to that decision, the next month, we had our second biggest growth month of the year. The next month, we decreased churn. That's the percentage of customers you lose. We decreased that by 30%. Over the last 3 months, we gained 280,000 new additional users to our software completely free. And that's because my marketing, tech, and support teams are now back to the way that they should be operating, doing great, incredible work together. Can't stress it enough. Direct communication is really important, especially in business. If you have a problem with someone, tell them you have a problem directly. If you think someone's idea is great, tell them why you think it's great. If you think someone's idea is bad, explain why you think it's bad. That's the kind of dynamic you need to really succeed in business, work efficiently, and work fast together and outperform everyone else in the market. So guys, hopefully you found value in this video. We have a ton more episodes coming out. I believe next week is going to be our interview. Also spending the day with Andy Elliot behind the scenes. We got a bunch more coming. We also have Investorlift University coming, which is going to be posted to YouTube and also be on the Investorlift community. So if you find value in this, smash the like button. It costs you nothing. Drop us a comment, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video.